to use the software and how to figure out how to best implement the software at their organization to save their employees as much time as possible and really be able to do some really new and cool things with television. SnapStream in its most basic form is a DVR system. We are very widely well known for working. We're a company here based out of Texas, as you can see here, but we're known really well for working with shows like The Daily Show and Last Week Tonight. We're their solution for helping to find those kind of needle in a haystack moments that are happening on television that sometimes people may not even realize, but they can always search on, find these clips, find what we like to call, and I'm sure you'll hear me say it a couple of times today, needle in a haystack moments from thousands of hours of television. What used to take interns or employees thousands of hours of combing through different recordings, they can now do it in the same way that they would do a Google search and can find that material. Now we do that essentially, like I said, through a DVR product that is recording television. We have systems that suit every application, anywhere from 2-channel systems that record 2 shows at a time or 2 channels at a time, all the way up to 50 or beyond that, 50 channels at a time. We wish you would challenge us to build a system that bigger than that. We can build essentially anything that you need to make sure that you're recording all the content that you need at any given time. Now, once that content is on your SnapStream software, we make it really easy to be able to search that content in the same way, like I said earlier, same way you might search Google to find those needle in a haystack moments. In this little image here, you can see I did a search for celebrities, and it shows you all the different times that the term celebrities comes up in the recording. Now, that's obviously a basic search that we've done right there, but you can be very specific about the information that you're looking for. To either do research or find embarrassing moments or find those kind of needle in a haystack moments that you're looking for. Once you find those moments, we make it incredibly easy to snip that content out, make clips, push it to social, put it into an editing bay, whatever you need to do with it. Our system will integrate into your workflow to make sure that you can get that content where it needs to be to then do whatever you need to do with that content. I just mentioned it a minute ago, but one of the biggest things that we've been working on lately is social TV, which is pushing that content to social media, to Facebook, to Twitter, to YouTube, and making it social, sharing it, and sharing it with your customers, sharing it with your advertisers. Whatever it might be, we can push that content as GIFs, as videos, as screenshots, whatever you need. We can get that content out from your SnapStream onto your social media platforms. The most basic outline of how the SnapStream works is you essentially have a TV source, as you can see at number 1. That TV source is connected through a variety of ways into SnapStream, into the SnapStream appliance that will live on your network. It's connected directly into your network, and then anybody on that network can also can go into their favorite browser and be able to use the SnapStream software, be able to search, be able to clip, and do all the different features of SnapStream. We have some different diagrams like this, but we also have cloud instances where people around the country can go to a website to be able to access their SnapStream. That's something we're really excited about. So I'm going to go ahead and take a jump into the new features that we've added with our brand new release of SnapStream 7.1. I do want to point out at this point, if you look in the chat window of the GoToWebinar application, I put a link in there that starts with support.snapstream.youcanbook.me. It's right there on your webinar application. If your system is not currently at 7.1, the 7.1 version, you can click on that link, choose a time, and get your system upgraded to 7.1. That's going to link directly to our support team, and they can schedule the time to upgrade to 7.1. A lot of these features that I'm going to show you are brand new to that software release. So the biggest one that we're incredibly excited about is that we now offer TV literally at your fingertips with a full iPad experience. So with H.264 video, you can essentially do everything that you need to do on your SnapStream from an iPad. So you're not really tethered to your desk in the way that you have been before. So you, with our support, you can do it all. You can record television, you can search television, you can play it, clip it, and post it to social from the convenience of the iPad. The great thing about this is there's no app or plugin that you have to install to access this. You essentially just go to your network location or your web address if you're using SnapStream Cloud, and it's going to be a full iPad experience. So you can have all of that essentially in the palm of your hand. The only caveat that's important here is that you need to make sure your signal is an H.264 MP4 signal so that you can watch it back on your iPad. It's a really full feature release here for the iPad. You have, as I said earlier, you have all these options to record your television, set your recording schedule, to search inside television, same as if you were at your computer, as well as watch TV, clip TV, and do all your social media features, grab videos, make GIFs, do images, push all that content to the social media platforms that are important to you. We added in 7.0, which I'm going to show you in just a moment, a brand new social TV dashboard that also allows you to take that content and queue it up. So you can actually queue up screenshots, videos, GIFs, and actually view it in your social media dashboard so that you can make sure that it's perfect for you before you push that live to your social media account. It allows you for the first time to actually set up approval workflows so that you can have interns or a certain group of your users who are allowed to queue up tweets or queue up Facebook posts or whatever it might be. But you maybe only want one person to be the actual person that pushes the go button on those tweets. And using this social media dashboard, we allow you to do that. The other really nice thing is we give you all kinds of analytics to actually look and see what that content that you're posting to social media, what's getting the most interaction, what is getting the most engagement. We have that available for Twitter here as well as Facebook. We also make it really easy to cross-post content. I moved forward a little too quickly. Cross-post content, things that are working on Twitter, maybe you want to post to Facebook, and in one button you can do that. That's full-fledged social media TV dashboard, as well as, which will work on your iPad as well on your desktop. So we're very excited about our last release where we released this social TV dashboard. But we actually heard from customers that this is great. They love that they can queue content up. But they love if they could do it even more and set a post to go live at a certain time. So we've added scheduled tweets and Facebook posts. Now it's going to be the same thing as before, where you can actually queue that content up. A great screenshot here, where it looks good. I want to queue it up, so I hit the queue button, and then I can come here into my social media dashboard, actually choose what time I want to send that out at. In this case, I'm going to send it out at noon on April 11th. Which just so happens to be my birthday, but whatever. We can move on that. So I set it for April 11th at noon, and then I can just hit save, and it's going to go live at 12 o'clock as I've requested it. So you can actually do this far in advance. It really allows you to control when those tweets and Facebook posts get delivered. You're essentially putting things on autopilot to do it for you. The really cool thing that we've seen on this is that customers who may be producing television shows or work in TV, a lot of people are actually scheduling posts to go live while a show airs. They can take that content, get it ready to go, produce those screenshots, those GIFs, those videos, and then they can set it to be actually automatically posted during the show while the show is airing. They don't have to do it in real time. So it's a really cool feature that we're really excited about, a scheduled tweet and Facebook posts. Another thing we've been asked for is SFTP exporting. SFTP is just another higher level of security for FTP uploads. It uses modern encryption techniques. So if your system uses SFTP, and I look at the list of people who are on the call today, and I know a few of you actually do, that you can actually come in here and set SFTP exports to wherever you want to send them to. That we've always included folder options as well as Amazon S3, Google Cloud Storage, and FTP. So we're really excited to be able to add this real high level of security using SFTP. Another thing that we've responded to our customers by adding here is graphs of recording history. I know everybody loves statistics, so we've added some brand new stats into the software. For these, you have this one you're looking at right here is a recording history graph. So you can see how many recordings you are actively making each day, each month, each year, and so on. It's a good way to plan for expansion or to make sure that you're deleting things that are at the proper rate. Just to give you a little bit better of an idea of what you're using the system for. The next one is something that we've been asked for is tracking the number of sessions that have been used for the last month or the last year. So you can have an idea, a real nice idea of who's using the system, how many people you have on the system at peak usage, and it's a really just a nice another statistic that we wanted to make sure to add to the software. So I'm going to stop here for just a moment, and again, I'd like to ask if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them now in the question field on the GoToMeeting application. I have my colleagues standing by here to answer any questions, and I'd love to answer any questions that you have here during the webinar as well. Any questions about anything I've shown you or anything that has come up during the webinar thus far? Now, we always say here at SnapStream, seeing is believing. I could talk about it all day. I can show you screenshots all day, but seeing is believing. And the first thing I want to show you here is the iPad experience. Now, I did this just a little while ago, and I want to show you what this looks like. Now, I'm on an iPad here, and I can have essentially all the different features that I normally have on my desktop. Now, I can go into the guide and see all the different shows that are currently airing that I have access to, and I can click on any one the same way I would on the desktop and get a little bit of metadata about that show. All my recording options are going to be listed right there. I can set recordings, end recordings, do all those different things inside the guide. I can go over to the library here, and again, it's going to look familiar if you use SnapStream. The great thing, though, is that it is on an iPad. I can go up and down, find those things that are important to me, click on one, and open it right up and go into that recording. You can see these are the live recordings that are happening in progress. You can see, by the way, that these are all H.264 programs, as I said earlier. Now, it's going to start, again, right into the program. I think it's a little loud here. Let's see here. Narcissist that Barack Obama looks at him and goes, dude, what's your... I'm not going to talk about the content there, but you can see it plays back really nicely inside the iPad. And I'm going to turn it down just a moment here. It plays back really nicely, and I can jump around wherever I need to be. And I have all the same options that I would have on my desktop, just to move forward, to move backwards, as well as the start clip, which I just did, and end a clip. And then I can clip it out with just the same features that I would use on my desktop. It's going to give me the option to tag it, to give it a new title, to clip it, do all these different things that I would do normally, but just do it right on the iPad. It's the same functionality. But it's really, really great to have it in the palm of my hand, and I can walk around, show it to my colleagues, show it to my bosses. Whatever makes sense for me, I can do that right here. And I'm just tagging that clip as I normally would. Tagging it so I can find it later. And then I'm going to hit the clip button and clip that out of the original recording. Now, it's easy to do, to make a clip, which I just did, as it is to grab an image and push it to social media, or make a clip and grab it to social media. All I do is I hit the social media that I want to send it to. In this case, I want to send it to Twitter. I can even write the meme text directly onto the image if I would want to. I can do that right there. And then I can add whatever the context of the tweet I want it to be. And all I have to do is hit tweet. Now, again, I could queue that content up if I wanted to take a look at it and look at it later. But if this is the case, I just want to tweet it live. The same thing with Facebook. I can grab an image, take a video, push that live. You could probably come up with something more clever than I can. By the way, you can see you can also link to Facebook and Facebook accounts right through the application as well. So it's really incredibly, incredibly easy. And again, here I am at Live TV, which I can do Live TV on my iPad as well. It's a really full feature set on the iPad, and essentially anything that I would want to do on my SnapStream, I can now do on my iPad. It's just a really cool feature that we're excited about. Yes, do have some questions coming in, and my colleague Mike is standing by. He's going to answer any questions. By the way, I just did a search inside here to find that content, and again, I can come in here and look at my queue to see any queued up tweets, any queued up Facebook posts, and if I want to push that live, all I have to do is hit that tweet button, or I can even schedule it if I wanted to do that. So we're really, really excited about this new iPad integration. Here's the analytics, by the way, that I was telling you about. Really, really excited about it. If anybody has any questions about how this system would work on an iPad, please go ahead and ask them now. We'd be happy to go into any further detail. But just know that if you already have this system up, or if you're thinking about getting a system, we do now have that mobile experience that a lot of people have been asking for. That is easy to use just the same way as you would use it on your desktop. So now I'm going to jump over here to my desktop version, and I'm going to do a quick dive in for some of you who are brand new to SnapStream, and as well as the people who have used it before, and maybe show you a few features that you may not be aware of. So we do have some questions coming in on people who are brand new at SnapStream. I just want to show you that this looks, and again, as I keep stating, it looks a lot like our mobile version. This is our desktop version. All the channels that you have access to are listed right here. Now your system is going to look exactly the same way. It's going to be set up to have all the channels that your cable package or multiple cable packages give you. Now you can click on any one of these recordings and go directly into that go directly into the metadata for that recording. So there's Bloomberg Market that tells me a little bit about what's happening on that show. If I were to click on something like New Girl, I get the name of the show, the episode, what's happening on that episode, as well as actors and actresses. If I click on something that I'm not currently recording, like Giada at home here, I have all my recording options to record this episode, record all episodes, record all new episodes, and so on. It's the same essentially as your home DVR. The only exception is this last button where it says record everything on this channel. If I wanted to record this channel 24 hours a day, it's just as easy as hitting that one button and recording that content 24 hours a day. Once you have those recordings, they are going to exist here in the library, where you can see all of your currently in progress recordings, which have a red dot. If you go down a little bit further, you'll see all your finished recordings. I can click on anything, whether it's in progress or if it's not in progress. We'll go to something really serious like General Hospital. Start me out at the beginning of the recording. On the right side of the screen is the entire closed captioning for that show. If I go down a little bit to the end of the transcript, you'll see that it's actually bringing in, because it's a live show, we can see here we're at about 21 minutes into the show, any closed captioning that's coming in is actually being updated in real time. Now I can even click anywhere on this closed captioning and go directly into that part of the recording. I can jump around really easily to the exact moment in the recording. I do want to point out really quickly as I'm demoing this that you might see a little bit of a lag on your end when you're watching the video that I'm playing back, simply due to the GoToWebinar application. When you're watching it on your computer, it's going to be just the same as if you were watching it on television. So I can move around really easily. I'm going to mute it here. Really easily in that recording. If I want to make a clip of this, all I do is I make my start point. I can click forward or move forward using my scrubbing tools, and I can make an end point. You can see I made a clip length of 11 seconds. All I need to do to clip that out is hit that little clip button and give it a title. I can call it whatever I want, and then I can even tag it, say ABC, GH, or however I'm going to be able to want to find it later. I can go ahead and do that right there. All I do then is I clip it out. And it's going to clip out of the original recording, but it's going to keep that original recording in its entirety and not affected in any way. I can even skip to live TV. You can see I'm about a second behind live TV, and I can be making clips in real time from live TV and clip those out as soon as I want to. It's incredibly, incredibly powerful to actually take that content as soon as it happens and be able to clip it out and edit it or do whatever you need to do with that content Same thing here with social media, which is what I was talking about earlier. If I wanted to grab this image and post it to the official General Hospital page or whatever it might be, I can hit that Twitter button, choose the account I want to send it to. This is my personal account for the record, and this is my work account. If I wanted to send it out, I just choose image, and again, I can actually push a meme text if I wanted to. Say nice hug. I can push that content directly to my Twitter account, or even queue it up to look at it later. Same thing, I made a start point, I made an end point. If I wanted to push this as a video to Twitter or Facebook, all I do is I click my account that I'm going to send it to. I'm going to push to Facebook in this instance, and hit post. Now the great thing about this is it's actually taking that content and pushing it natively as a native Twitter and a native Facebook video. The thing about that, that's great about that, is that because it's native, you're going to start playback immediately on Twitter and Facebook when you're going down your pages. It's going to look great in line. You don't have to click on anything. It's native on the social media that you send it to. Same thing here on Twitter. If I actually wanted to make an animated GIF, for instance, or push a video, I can choose animated GIF. I'm going to close some of these down in just a moment. I can choose the resolution I want to send it to my Twitter. I can choose my frame rate. Now, Twitter will allow me to push up to 5 megabytes. I've gone slightly over, so it knows that, and it'll tell me to go down a little bit. I can actually speed up or even slow down the GIF if I wanted to, and then I can push tweet to push that content live. So these clips have already been clipped out. They're already in my clip folder. Let's take a look at that social media that I've posted. So I can hit that tweet, that post here, and there's that first tweet that I pushed live immediately from live TV. It's already on my Twitter account. Same thing with my Facebook post here, that I pushed to Facebook. It's already live on my Facebook account. It's going to start playing back immediately. It's a short clip, and if I wanted to turn the audio on, you could hear it, but it's already live on my Facebook account as well. So it couldn't be any easier to grab that content and push it live to my social media accounts. That GIF, by the way, is wrapping up. I don't know if you've ever made a GIF inside Photoshop, but it's not necessarily a hard process, but it's a real pain to do. You saw how easy it was. I made a start point, I made an end point, and I chose GIF. Then I chose my resolution, my frame rate, and my speed, and I pushed it live. It usually takes about 30 seconds from start to finish to make that GIF. I stand corrected, a minute here, to make that GIF, push it live to my social media account. Now, this is not a very exciting GIF, but it is a GIF nonetheless, and it's already live on my Twitter account from live TV after 1 minute exactly. So really, really easy to do social on SnapStream. Now, the bread and butter of what SnapStream does is our TV search. It's going to be up here at the top. So I can search for something incredibly broad, something that I know I'm going to get a ton of hits on. Let's do a search for Trump. If I do a search for Trump on the channels that I'm currently recording, I have 38,192 recording search results. Now, I'm sure none of you are surprised by that. I can click on the most recent mention here was 22 minutes ago on Bloomberg Market. It's a currently in progress show. Now, if I wanted to go to that exact media mention, all I need to do is hit that button, that Bloomberg Markets button, and it's going to go directly to that moment. I have it muted here so you can't hear it. Back up just a little bit.
Let's get straight now to a check of the headlines on the Bloomberg First Word News this afternoon. Mark Crompton has more from our newsroom. Mark.
Bonnie, thank you. Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign is starting a new Stop Trump Fund.
So there it is. It found the exact media mention of Trump from 22 minutes ago on Bloomberg. And I can even come over here and do a search on that entire transcript if I wanted to and say, okay, well, I want to find where they said maybe, and I'm guessing here that they said NASDAQ in this hour. There we go.
In the S&P 500, and even though it has come down
to... You can see there's exactly where they said NASDAQ in that recording. It's really easy to search inside programming. So I'm not going to have anybody sit there and watch 38,200 recording search results. So I can use what's called Boolean Search terminology to actually be really specific about what I'm looking for. I can come over here and say, okay, well, I want to find Boolean Search, by the way, is essentially the same way you search Google, using AND statements, or statements, negative statements. to be really specific about what you're looking for. So I want to say, okay, I want to find where they say Trump, but I also want to find where they say Hillary Clinton, and I'm going to put it in quotes because I don't want I don't want to find out where they're saying Bill Clinton. I just want to say where they're saying Hillary Clinton, and maybe also I want to see where they're saying the word Kasich, but I don't want to see where the word Cruz is being used. So I can put a negative Cruz in front of it and do a search. So it's going to show me where the word Trump is used along with the term Hillary Clinton and Kasich, but not Cruz. And there's my first mention, which is on 4 hours ago on Fox News, where they said Kasich called it quits. They talked about Donald Trump, and then they said the term Hillary Clinton. You can see the word Cruz is nowhere to be found. And I can click on that, and as you would imagine, it's going to go right to that exact media mention. Now, the system also has all kinds of search qualifiers to help you search inside the recording very specifically. So I can search by call sign, I can search by category, by channel, by date. All of these different search qualifiers help me be very, very specific about what I'm looking for. Before I jump into this, I just want to reiterate, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them now. If you have any questions about searching, about social, anything that I've shown you, please send your questions now. I'd be happy to answer them as we're talking here. So I can search here by date, by description, by channel, and so on. So I might want to come in here and say, okay, I only want to find where the mention is on Fox News. And we'll say the mention that I'm looking for is Hillary Clinton again. So I can put my Hillary Clinton in here. But I also maybe want to use another search qualifier. I only want to search on a certain date. So I can put my date in here. I can say, if I wanted to, I could say 5/5/16, and it would search today. Or I can just type as I normally would and say, search today, search yesterday, search this week, or so on. So maybe I just want to look this week for Fox News mentions of Hillary Clinton. And I can search specifically for the exact media mention. There's 552 current recording results for the term Hillary Clinton on Fox News from this week. And the most recent one was just minutes ago on Fox News, 23 minutes ago, where on Shepard Smith, they were mentioning that exact media mention. So it makes it very, very easy to find those, again, I told you I was going to say it a couple of times, to find those needle in a haystack moments that are inside your recordings. It's very, very easy to find that content that you're looking for. A few things I'm going to show you before we wrap up here. If I go to the top here, it's social, you'll find that social media dashboard that I was talking to you about, where you can actually see queued up Twitter posts, queued up Facebook posts. You know, these are some of our testers put these, so don't take any of that content seriously. You can actually see that confirmation, get a confirmation that you like that content, that it looks good, that it's what you want it to be. If it's not, you can come over here and say no bueno or whatever you wanted to say. Change the account you want to send it to, even schedule it, as I was saying, to send at a certain time. So then I can save it. If it looks good to me, I can then push that content live. Really, really easy. We just got a question that came in that said, will SnapStream be adding any other direct publishing options in the future, YouTube and Vine in particular? So that's the question. So I briefly talked about it, but we actually have integration inside SnapStream for YouTube. And I'll show you how that works by coming here really quickly. And I'm going to make a start point and end point as I normally do.
10 pounds in your first month, this is what you get to do. This is perfect.
So I took a very exciting couple of seconds here from Hard Talk, and I can give it my title. I can say, you know, Hard Talk clip. And then instead of just hitting that clip button, I actually can say clip and. Now there's a handful of things here, but the one that's important to you is actually upload to YouTube. And you can actually upload to YouTube directly from the clipping screen here, and I can give it a title, I can give it a description, I can tag it, I can even set the category as well as the privacy settings for that clip. So I can post that content directly to my YouTube account, which I can link right here, and post it live from my clipping screen. So yes on that, and I see that my colleague has replied. We're looking into Vine. Our engineers would love to do it, but their API is not as open as some of these other organizations. So the second we can do Vine integration, we're going to be adding it to the product. But at this time, their API doesn't make it as easy as some of these other organizations do to actually access Now the really cool thing, as I mentioned to that, it is really easy to actually make that clip, download it to your desktop, and then push it through other avenues into Vine and Instagram and some of these other ones that have a much more closed API. So you still have ways in which you can push that to your social media accounts that may not have actually direct integration inside SnapStream. Thanks for your great question. That was really excellent. The last thing here I want to show you is, again, under my library. By the way, that clip that I made earlier is going to be right here under All Clips. I can actually go to All Clips or My Clips. There's my General Hospital clip that I made, and I can click on it. It's going to be that exact clip that I made earlier.
May very well be right. Strauss appears to be in perfect health.
So very exciting. There's that clip that I created. It's already live on my account, or it's already, excuse me, in my clip folder. And I can do with that whatever I want. If I wanted to download that clip or transcode it or view it elsewhere, I have all kinds of options to take that content and use it. What I wanted to show you here under the library is you actually are going to have in the library, you're always going to have an option here that says CC. Now I can click on that on this Star Trek episode, go into the CC, and that's going to pull up the entire closed captioning for that show. Now, I mentioned to you earlier that this is what was the last thing that was said on that closed captioning, on that live, this is a live program. So that's the last thing that was said. Now I'm going to refresh this page. I'm going to hit my F5 to refresh. And you're actually going to see that when I refresh, it's going to give you all of those words that have been said in the transcript that since I refreshed it. So I can always be up to date. Now this is a great way for people who are writing articles about a show. They're probably not writing articles about an old episode of Star Trek, but for live television, this is really, really great. You can come in here and copy and paste that into an article, paste that into a conversation, all kinds of different things you can do that with that. The other amazing thing here is that you can actually click here, make a start point, click here, make an end point, and actually clip the video out from the transcript view. It's an incredibly amazing, if you ask me, amazing feature where I can actually clip that video out just by looking at the transcript. We had another question that just came in here. It said, what format can SnapStream transcode to? Now, we handle a lot of different formats here. I'm going to come in here and take a look at that clip that I just created. That General Hospital clip is very exciting here. I can click on it and say More Actions, and I'm going to choose Show Squeeze. Show Squeeze is my internal term for transcode here at SnapStream. And I have all my different options to actually for target file format. So I have WMV, I have H.264, which is the most widely used across the board for most of our organizations. We have an H.264 transport stream as well as XDCAM. A lot of television shows work in XDCAM, as well as a QuickTime option. We just added with our 7.0 release an audio-only option where you can go directly to MP3 or WAV. You can even choose your bit rate directly for those MP3 or WAV. So we have a lot of organizations that may work in radio or things that are not contingent on audio, and they can actually do directly to audio. So this is a wide overview of the different types of file formats that we have. But we have all kinds of target qualities as well. So if you wanted a 720 quality or 1080 or Apple TV, or if you happen to have an iPod Nano at home you need a video for, you have all kinds of target qualities to transcode those too. So I hope that answered your question. If you have any other questions about transcode options, please let me know. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up for the day. Now, few little wrap-up things here. Again, under your chat settings, or under your chat window, I put a link there that says support SnapStream at youcanbook.me. You can go to that site, and actually schedule a time to upgrade your SnapStream to 7.1 to get all these different features that we've that I've shown you today. A lot of the features that I've shown you today. So I recommend going to there. Also, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me, Eric@snapstream.com, just ERIC at snapstream.com, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have or connect you with our support team if there's something specific technical-wise that you have a need for. Again, my name's been Eric Cohn. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have for as long as you have them here. We're going to stay on our go-to webinar until we've answered every question you have. Please reach out to me if there's anything I can do for you moving forward. Thank you so much for being on this call today. And again, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them now. Thanks again. Bye. The guy for this.